on YouTube. Shadow Sun here. Hope all are well. Hope you're staying healthy and at home. So I am here with all these crystals. I have a couple of raw ones, some tumbled ones. You'll see some amethyst in there, quartz point, and hematite, and a couple of others that I have around. Some of these were gifts. I don't remember off the top of my head all of them. But I wanted to get into the discussion of why I got into crystals and how I got into crystals because a lot of people have been asking. Um, and I never really discussed it on my blog either. I got into, energetic properties and things like that, and I've talked about how versatile they are, and they are. I think crystals can be beneficial for healing. I got into them when I first started studying all of this, like paganism and witchcraft very, very early on. And when I started studying them, I was really fascinated by how they were formed and all the different shapes and sizes that they came in. And I remember I went to a local store and it was amazing trying to find all the different crystals because they had them in this big container, and I would just pick them up and I would feel like the texture of the crystals, like for the raw ones, they feel kind of like bumpier, and some of them feel heavier, and the tumbled ones have a smoother, rounder texture to them depending on the crystal. I have noticed a subtle difference in texture when it comes to crystals. Um, I've also noticed a subtle energetic difference in terms of like how they energetically work if they're raw and if they're tumbled. That doesn't mean that they're any less. It's just you're going to have a subtle difference, I think. I've just noticed that. But they're useful to anybody interested in crystals. Um, Crystals can help with, protection, especially. I use a lot of crystals in protection magic because they're just so easy to obtain. And I think you should definitely look into the quality of the crystals and where you get them from, because a lot of people go through a lot of things to get these crystals for us, and some people don't realize like how hard it is for these people to get it and mine it and all that and the conditions that they're in. um, I try to get my crystals, and I try not to get more than one of the same crystal, but that never usually works out because I always feel like I need more of them for some reason, but I make sure to really use them for different things. So, I got my first crystal and I felt the energy of it, and actually, amethyst, not this amethyst that I have in front of me, but the amethyst that I have is somewhere in another box, and I really connected with that piece of amethyst that I found at that shop. And I've also collected stuff over the years as well. And when I got into collecting them, a lot of them were gifts, and a lot of them were just stuff that I found in every city that I went to. And I just find crystals to be pretty invaluable, just on the physical level as well, like how they form and how they're created. And in learning that, you learn about the earth, you learn about nature, you learn about the spirit within those crystals, because I believe that each of these crystals has their own unique spirit based on the experience I've had with them in meditation, in addition to other aspects of it. In learning how they formed, I've learned how I can better connect with those crystals. And based on that, like, where these crystals come from. If you pick up any stone or rock, even in your backyard, and you just focused on some of that energy, in addition to just focusing and researching how that area of your land was done in terms of those crystals or rocks around you, you can learn about that part of the world and that part of the land that you're in. And that's just been my experience, just learning more about the connection to crystals in terms of how they relate to the earth. Like quartz is used in everything from our phones to our watches to computers. I mean, obviously they have benefits, especially clear quartz for conducting energy, and it has benefits in healing. It's an all in magic. In magic, it's an all-purpose stone, and in healing, I mean, amethyst is really helpful for the emotional healing. In addition to using them with the mundane things that we have to do, we still have to work through our emotions and work through our various situations that we go through in life, but the crystals can help us through them. And learning as much as you can about them can help you interact with them, both metaphysically and physically, for healing. So, those are just my 2 cents on the matter and just how to use crystals and how I got into crystals a little bit. That's just how I choose to see crystals. I choose to see them for what they are on a physical level and how they can help energetically. And I think, it can really help people to understand how they can get into crystals by researching them like geologically and researching what they are. And I feel like too many people get caught up in the energetic aspects of it before they even realize what it is, especially in the context of creating crystal elixirs. And I'll get into that in another video, but that's where I really see it the most, and that's why I think it's important to look at it physically. So if you like what you have seen thus far, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification sound so you don't miss a video. Hope all are well. Talk to you all soon this week.